can trust. Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, corner of Highway 79 in East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the South Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the South Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Don't make a bad call the next time you need an attorney. The lawyers of Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers have been serving the legal needs of clients throughout the state for over 75 years. Serious legal issues like divorce, business disputes, personal injury, and criminal matters require a solid team. When you need a win, call Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers at 721-1517. Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers, proudly supporting our area's youth and sports teams in their pursuit of excellence.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports! And here's what you need to know.
Game 2 between the Bucks and Nets in their Eastern Conference playoff series is at 7:30 Eastern time tonight. Brooklyn without James Harden because of his hamstring injury. Nets up 1-0. Game 1 between the Nuggets and Suns is in Phoenix at 10 o'clock Eastern time. The Athletic says Lakers forwards LeBron James and Anthony Davis are not expected to play for Team USA in the Tokyo Olympics this summer, as both players are expected to use the offseason to rest their injuries. Alabama's given head football coach Nick Saban a contract extension. It runs through the 2028 season. Wisconsin and Notre Dame are going to play at Soldier Field in September. We knew that, but the schools also rescheduled the game that was supposed to be played at Lambeau Field last year. Instead, now the Badgers and Fighting Irish will play at Lambeau on September 25th of 2026. The NFL Network says the Buccaneers gave head coach Bruce Arians a pay raise and GM Jason Light a new contract extension. Toronto Blue Jays going to continue to play their home games in Buffalo through at least July 21st. I'm Dan Potts.
It's time for the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and local sports. Exclusively on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. And streaming online right now at foxsportsrapidcity.com. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories, welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate.
Well, good Monday afternoon to you. Thanks for checking in with us, spending some time with us. We appreciate that. Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is back live from our downtown studio on Fox Sports Rapid City. It is South Dakota's sports talk show. Thanks for being here. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. Hope you had a solid weekend, ready to go on a Monday, jam-packed, and we'll light the lamp a little bit today. Have some fun. Let's get to it. The Nate Brown Show brought to you in part by Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. Since 1976, that's the expert team. You have a choice for your orthopedic care. If you want to continue your active lifestyle, see the team that takes care of the elite athlete to the weekend warrior, Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. More options, more specialists. Online at bhosc.com. Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. On a Monday, we're going to move through the show. Let's look at this. We got a lot to get to. We're going to have Jake Sorensen on live from Lincoln. He's with 93.7 The Ticket in Lincoln, Nebraska. We got to hit on this story. I mean, this is a fun one here. In an hour, the Husker baseball program is trying to get to this super regional. So we're trying to get to the College World Series. Still a couple more steps to make. But the Super Regional is next. If the Husker baseball program wins tonight, so we lay this out for you, it's kind of hard to track college baseball in the process. If they can beat number 1 seed Arkansas, then Nebraska is part of the 16-team Super Regional, and you're getting close to that College World Series scenario. So tough duty tonight, but the Huskers beat them yesterday. Huskers beat Arkansas yesterday in a come-from-behind victory. And I just want to get into this Husker program. Will Bolt, he's the head coach. How has he done this at Nebraska? In a short time, they win the Big Ten. They win the Big Ten, and we haven't seen that in football. Not even close. We haven't seen that in men's basketball, so it's different, but how has he done it? Are you trying to say, well, baseball's just not as competitive? You don't know that. You don't know that. So how is Nebraska, Will Bolt, the head coach, in a short amount of time, he took over for Darren Erstad. How has he done this? Nebraska on the verge. I don't know if they'll get it done here, but we'll talk to Jake Sorensen coming up. Husker baseball trying to knock down the number 1 seed, Arkansas. They've only had that happen, a number 1 seed like that, in 4 times. So in a regional, the number 1 seed's only been knocked out 4 times. Okay? So that's interesting. That's coming up in an hour. Let's get to it. Rob Aller joins us, Columbus Dispatch columnist. He covered the Memorial Golf Tournament, Jack Nicklaus Golf Tournament, right? Rob Aller was there. We'll talk to him live from Columbus, Ohio, straight ahead. Big story out of the Memorial. We'll get to it. Kevin Figures on from L.A. tonight, talking Clippers and a little bit of NBA. I think the Nuggets have a chance here. I know that sounds silly. I think the Nuggets have a chance. Kevin Figures talking Clippers win yesterday, AM 570. And it's a big story out of Sioux Falls today. They're launching the biggest sports turf project in the country. This is the biggest sports turf project in the country. They launched it today in Sioux Falls. What are they up to? The president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls is going to join us live straight ahead. So a busy Monday show on the Nate Brown Show. Out of the gate, let's take a quick call. Out of the gate, thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
You know how you can tell listening to somebody talk that has no clue about Nebraska baseball?
How?
You don't think Darren Erstad didn't win a Big Ten championship?
No, I had Darren on this
program. You better
program.
go back and do your homework.
I had Darren on, Steve.
You better go back and do
I had
your
him
homework.
on. I had him on, but he wasn't winning at the end.
Okay. Tell me the last time Nebraska, outside of Alex Gordon there, was a College World Series champion or in the finals.
I do not know that.
I'll wait.
I do not know that. Go ahead.
I'll wait. I tell you what, I could wait till next fall and you still won't find it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good.
No, I think it was good, but he wasn't winning Big Ten titles
program.
at the end. So you're saying the football program's
Big Ten titles.
You're saying the football program's way behind.
Champion. He won a Big Ten title, bud.
I know that, Steve. I've had him on. I've had him on this show. I've had him on this show.
Why are you saying, "Oh my God, Bolt"? He's like LeBron James.
No, I
He's
said
the greatest.
This is a very quick Big Ten title for a new coach. It really is. It's a pretty quick.
No, it's not, because Darren left him plenty of players.
Well, I get
Just
that.
like
I think
the Arkansas coach.
So you can make this argument. You can make this argument.
The Arkansas coach.
Hang on. You can make this argument.
Nebraska.
Football and basketball are way behind. I know basketball is, but Tim Miles left the basketball program better than Fred Hoiberg.
I'm going to ask you. When was the last time Nebraska basketball was in a conference championship?
No, I'm going to say, I'm telling you, though, Tim Miles left it good, too. Did Tim Miles have it in good shape better than Fred Hoiberg? Yes or no? Tim Miles had that
Tim
basketball.
Miles, 10 times Coach Fred is.
Okay, so he left it in good shape, too, and the basketball program hasn't done as well under Fred. I'm telling you, the baseball program's
but the Nebraska
doing well.
Program's never done it.
Well,
Tim
they were
Miles never won a conference championship.
Well, I didn't say this was the first time Nebraska won, Steve. I didn't say this was the first time ever. I said the baseball program's in better shape.
Trying to compare it to football and basketball.
Why is it in better shape? That's the question.
I told you that.
Why is it in better shape? Why is baseball better?
because the previous coach put it in better shape.
Okay, how did he do
Football, who put us in good shape? I'll tell you the last one was. His name was Bo. Okay? Who's the last Nebraska football coach to beat Ohio State?
it? Maybe Frank Solich or Bo Pelini? Maybe. I think Bo probably.
Yes.
Well, and nobody liked Bo.
No, it is Bo Pelini.
Okay, nobody liked Bo.
I'm just saying, Nebraska basketball is like, huh?
No, I didn't say
nobody
anything.
liked Bo. Come on. You're in South Dakota.
Not too many fans love Bo.
Everybody
Some of them
liked
did.
Bo, except the whiners.
Well, the
the
deal
same
is
people
this.
that didn't like Bo Pelini love LeBron James, and that ought to tell you right there.
Okay, the deal is this. Baseball is in much better shape than those other
did
two
you say?
programs. Can you hear me? I can't hear. Can you hear me? All right. I can't. Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you, Nate.
Okay.
But
Baseball is in better
we
shape.
took 20 years tearing down a football program
Okay. And it's time
because
to get it back.
was left in better shape.
Oh, I got you on that. It's time. I think.
Darren Erstad, he was 1 year out from a championship?
I don't know. I'll have to double check that. I don't know if it's 1 year
Tim
out.
Miles never won a Big Ten championship.
Well, he had basketball in better shape than it is now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Nate.
Yeah, he did. I appreciate you calling. I can't.
What did I tell you when they hired All-World Fred?
Okay.
All right.
I got you. Thanks,
Yep,
buddy.
yep.
The point is, okay, we'll get to Huskers coming up, but the point is, Husker baseball is in much better shape than football and basketball, right? And football was in pretty darn good shape, okay? Football was in pretty darn good shape. Now, you say there's been some ups and downs with Husker football. Yes, no question. And now it's down. Husker basketball was in better shape with Tim Miles than it is now. Husker baseball, Will Bolt, head coach, pretty darn good shape. Pretty darn good shape. I will say that. They win the Big Ten, pretty darn good season, and we're acting like we're mad about it. I mean, we don't need to be mad about the Husker baseball program having good success under Will Bolt, just a touch better than the other two programs. All right, thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Nate? How we doing, man?
What's going on?
You know, putting the N in knowledge for Nebraska out there, huh? But
what's
anyways,
up, buddy?
I had to call and just take my lumps because the Avs took a bit of a beating this weekend.
I know, that's tough.
And
Avalanche, I'm telling you, I didn't expect them to lose both.
Yeah, it was a rough go for them out there in Vegas, that's for sure. But you know, on the other side, this was a great sports week because you know, the United States men's national team went out there and won the CONCACAF.
That was big. That was big.
It was a great game, man, and to see Christian Pulisic out there just dominating and doing what he does.
Here it is.
U.S. to be able to beat a pretty good Mexico team like that.
U.S. men's national team hasn't won over Mexico like that since 2013. That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah,
right?
Well, and you know, Christian, of course, coming off of being a part of the UEFA champions, first ever men's U.S. men's national player to actually go out and play in a UEFA Cup game, Champions game, and then first one to also win. And he nearly was the first one to ever score too, but he got a little bit excited, I think, and pushed it a little to the wide.
Well, I will say last night was exciting in Denver. I didn't love the fans. Speaking of fan bad behavior, I didn't love the fans throwing things.
Yeah.
Got a little ugly last night.
That was awful.
Kind of put a black eye on it.
It really did, but, you know, I think that the fans that kept their cool and were the ones that were, you know, trying to shut down those unruly fans were the ones that we can maybe look to as being the shining beacon of let's get this thing back on the railroad, because, you know, we're going to get to the point where fans are going to be behind, you know, giant cages and stuff like they do in like Argentina and that, you know, if people keep acting like this.
Let's hope not, man. All right. Let's see if the Avalanche can get back on track, buddy. I got you.
Yep.
I was following
and
that.
And we got the We got the Nugs tonight, too, up against the Suns.
Yeah,
so,
I like the Nuggets. I don't think they can win tonight, but I do think they have a shot in the West. I do think they have a shot. 5-point underdogs tonight with the Nuggets. I think they'll lose this first game to the Suns. We'll see. I was wrong about the Nuggets before, so I hope I'm wrong. I thought they'd lose to Portland in Game 6, so I hope I'm wrong again. I'll start believing here soon. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks for getting in. All right. Wow, we're off on a Monday. I mean, let's get this back on track here, okay? Let's get this back on track. By the way, big story is where the COVID-19 civil war starts. Okay, it's okay. Jon Rahm gets kicked out of the Memorial Golf Tournament over the weekend. Right, he has a 6-shot lead going into the final day. He gets tested, and he comes up positive for COVID-19. And so the debate has gone out there as, oh, man, Jon Rahm gets kicked out of a tournament. He doesn't have the vaccine, okay? He doesn't have the vaccine. So there's the war now of he did this, you should have done that, and here's the war. I don't see it as a war or a big conflict that we need to say, you're right, you're wrong, okay? I do understand, and I see it this way. Jon Rahm Memorial Golf Tournament. I see it this way. There are rules in place, as many places have, whether that's workplace or not. We've talked about it on this show quite a bit, okay? Jon Rahm's a PGA golfer. The PGA Tour has rules in place, 2 sets of rules, and it's not any gray area anymore. There was a lot of gray area with COVID, right? A lot of gray area. You couldn't find consistency a lot, okay? Just telling you. So now there's no gray area. The world we live in now is Jon Rahm and other golfers can get the vaccine, and then they don't have to undergo the testing, or they decide not to get the vaccine for their choice, okay? And then they have to undergo the testing, and then you have a bad thing like this happen, okay? So the debate for me isn't, well, should the PGA Tour do this or not? That's not the debate for me. The debate is, can we see that, yes, it was a mistake for Jon Rahm to obviously not have the vaccine for himself because he's in that business of winning golf tournaments, okay? But I'm not going to just absolutely be cold-blooded. I'm not going to be cold-blooded today and say, oh, I don't feel an ounce of empathy or sympathy of it's a $1.67 million payday. Oh, golfers are rich. I get it. I get it. So they're so hardline these days. So hardline. I was talking with buddies today, and we were discussing this today, saying, you can say that Jon Rahm made the mistake as far as a business decision, right? Sports are a business. Sports are a business. And this is what Jack Nicklaus said. I mean, that's what he said. He said he made a business decision. And then Jack Nicklaus followed it up with, this is Jack's tournament, the Memorial. John is a big boy and understands we have rules. And unfortunately, rules are something you may not like, but they're the rules, and you have to abide by them. And so that's the end of the story for me. And so what I'm trying to tell you is we don't have to continue to shame this or shame that and just get in such heated arguments. It's simple for me. If you get the vaccine on the PGA Tour, he would have won potentially on Sunday yesterday. He would have gone through and won $1.67 million. He didn't. That was his mistake. And by the way, Jon Rahm said it himself. There's going to be bumps in the road. I was looking at his statement. It didn't seem like he whined or this is unfair or this and that. There's people out there saying this is unfair. And then there's other people out there saying Jon Rahm should never, blah, blah, blah. And so we just go so hard one way or the other. We go so hard. And really it's about this now. Golf is business. Professional sports are business. If a business has rules in place, you abide by those rules, you move forward, or you don't, and then things like that can happen. That's really all there is to it, no? I mean, that's really all there is to it. The debate over the weekend yesterday was everybody trying to get into, I can't believe that the PGA Tour did this. I can't believe the PGA Tour did this. That's not the debate. You can't go down the slippery slope of, we'll let this pass. We'll let this go. It's just as the NFL's trying to determine right now. There's 4 teams in the NFL with assistant coaches that haven't received the vaccine, okay? And their policy is what? If you're going to have tier 1 contact with the players, practice, games, meetings, the NFL, you're going to have the vaccine. Otherwise, you're not going to have that access. So the NFL has sent that out now over the weekend. Hey, to the 4 teams that have these assistant coaches that are in this category, you guys aren't going to be able to have access to the players, games, practice, etc. It just is where business and sports collide. Sports isn't the only business that's looking at all these things going down the road. It's not a big debate. There's not much gray area anymore. And so when you're in the professional sports world, as Jon Rahm is, it's okay to have compassion for, 1.67 million. He was having a great tournament. That's too bad. Is that okay? I understand. I'm trying to have some sympathy there. That's okay, right? And at the same time, there's some accountability from Jon Rahm's side as well, right? Jon Rahm knows if he had the vaccine, he would have maybe went on to win the Memorial. And Jack Nicklaus said the same thing. It's a business decision now in a lot of ways for these professional sports teams and sports stars. It really is. So I asked this question of the day, by the way. Do you feel bad for Jon Rahm? I wanted to get a pulse of the audience here. I wanted to see, is it cut and dry? Can you have some compassion, or at least a little bit like, oh man, that stinks. That stinks for him personally, okay? Knowing that, on the business side, he made a mistake. Do you feel bad for Jon Rahm? That's the question of the day. Yes, I feel bad, or no, those are simply the consequences. What is your take? 720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. I'd like to get you in and see where you're at. I'd like to see where the audience, let's see early on results. Let's pull them up. It was close this afternoon. It was close. It's still close. Do you feel bad for PGA golfer Jon Rahm? Not vaccinated, tested positive, got kicked out of the Memorial, lost the $1.6 million. 51% of you say, yes, I do feel bad for him. 49% say, no way. 49%. It's close. And did I mention, people are, kind of on one side or the other in the COVID-19 thing? I see this as a business type situation here. And in one instance, if you're going to play pro golf and you want to win big dollars, you can make the call, I better get the vaccine, and then he wouldn't have to worry about it. Right? And there can be some compassion. Wow, man, that stinks. But there can also be some accountability. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. Okay? Coming right back with Jake Sorensen. Huskers tonight against Arkansas. I think the baseball program is in pretty darn good shape. Yes, they've had a good program, okay? But Will Bolt's doing a really nice job. Jake Sorensen, 93.7 The Ticket next.
You're listening to the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills. The Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports RapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
You might not know that Renewal by Anderson is a local family business. The owner here is Andy Stelflew. He's a fourth-generation rancher who learned about customer service and the land of opportunity early on.
Over and over again, I heard, It's about the customer. It's signature service, treating the customer the right way. What a blessing it is to live in America. What a blessing it is to live in a country of the free, that if you want to do something, grow, you can.
Renewal by Anderson, great windows and great local people who never forget it's about the customer.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
You the best new sports bar in Rapid City. Grab your crew and check out the new Boss Pizzeria and Sports Bar on North Lacrosse Street. Same great pizza, chicken, and food you love from Boss, and now a full-service bar with beer, wine, and liquor. Boss Pizzeria and Sports Bar is a newly remodeled sports bar with TVs all around and a sports ticker dedicated to local and regional sports. This is the place for sports fans in the Black Hills. The new Boss Pizzeria and Sports Bar in North Lacrosse and Rapid City. They're open early and open really late. Also with delivery at BossPizzaandChicken.com.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Matt McCormick, I'm ready to help. Call 348-0464 for surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hi, this is Rihanna Wickett with Elevate Performance. We want you to know that not all physical therapy is the same. So when you need care, choose a team that delivers the best results. At Elevate Performance, you will receive one-on-one care with a doctor of physical therapy. We won't shuffle you in and shuffle you out. We are currently seeing new patients from youth athletes to grandparents. At Elevate Performance, we help you live life to the fullest by fusing healthcare and fitness. Come and experience personalized care and physical therapy unlike any other at Elevate Performance, your movement doctor. Online at elevateperformancesd.com.
I started doing it once in a while. Just for fun in the car with my friends. And yeah, I knew it was deadly, even illegal, but I didn't care. I remember looking down, and she was crossing the street, and I saw her just before I killed her.
Addiction has many faces. Texting and driving when you know it's life-threatening and illegal can be one of them. Take back control. Put the phone down.
Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on a Monday. Thanks for being here. We've already talked Huskers, Avalanche, Nuggets, and the Memorial Golf Tournament and COVID-19. I mean, it's just unbelievable. What a start. I have a lot of fun. I hope you're having a good day. I really do. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City. We're out of the gate just rolling. Steve Young's coming up. Not that Steve Young. I'm just kidding. Steve Young is coming up. President of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. This is a big announcement. They got the biggest turf project in the country. So Sioux Falls just announced this. Sanford just announced it. The biggest sports turf project in the country. It's massive. We'll talk to Steve Young coming up. Let's get Jake Sorensen on. He's with 93.7 The Ticket. You know that, in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are 33 minutes out from the Husker baseball program, trying to get into a super regional. They got to take down number 1 Arkansas to do it. Again, they did it yesterday. They're going to try and do it tonight. It'll be a little dicey, I expect. Jake Sorensen on. Find him on Twitter at 937 Jake Sorensen. Jake, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing really well. Looking forward to this game here. I think people were not surprised that they won last night, but certainly, wasn't an expectation to win that game against the number one team overall. So right now, I mean, this is an area that has really lacked a lot of success in men's sports for quite some time. Football has been down for several years. Basketball has been mostly down. Baseball has been respectable, but not getting to regional finals. So this city was electric today, last night, and we are pumped and ready to go for a game in just about a half hour.
Okay, I said that as I started the show, meaning baseball is kind of the program rolling right now. At least, I mean, look at what Will Bolt's done there. He's been a short time. He had the 2020 season canceled for the most part, and then now this year. What's the reaction around Will Bolt's job and what he's done with the program after Darren Erstad?
It's been unbelievable. I mean, Will Bolt, like you said, last year, his first year here as a head coach, he did been a head coach before, and he comes and he had to shorten at game 12 or 13, and they were about 500 at that point, so you didn't know what to expect. This year, I mean, if you saw any projections before the season, Nebraska was nowhere in anybody's top 6 for the Big Ten. So we kind of saw after the Nebraska closed out the Big Ten with 3 games to go, a lot of people on the team screenshotting the top 6 picks and saying, you're not on here. They kind of felt slighted. So Bill Bolt was a hard-nosed player at Nebraska, and he's been a hard-nosed coach. He's got these guys playing hard. So the whole state is in a frenzy, and a good frenzy. Very excited about Will Bolt in the future. Certainly thankful for what Darren Erstad left him on the team. Spencer Schwellenbach's been a stud this year, both at shortstop and hitting and pitching. But Will Bolt has taken them to the next level, and we're excited to see where the future goes from here.
Jake Sorensen on. He's live in Lincoln. He's on 93.7 The Ticket down there. Has a show. He's here on the Nate Brown Show today talking Husker baseball. They're 34-13 playing Arkansas. I just want to know, I mean, baseball's a tough sport. One game is really hard to win, and it can change on a dime. So what type of approach do you think Nebraska has here tonight? What type of shot do they have?
They've got a great shot. I mean, here's the deal. Nebraska back in the mid-2000s was consistently, under Dave Van Horn, now the Arkansas coach, Mike Anderson, consistent College World Series contender. And they had to deal with getting upset at times because they were the hunted team. And Nebraska's not been the hunted team for a while. They did win the Big Ten Conference, but the Big Ten didn't play non-conference baseball. They had no conference tournament, so people weren't sure what to expect out of any of the Big Ten teams of Nebraska, Michigan, Maryland, who made it into the field. But it's amazing. You talk about it's a whirlwind because Nebraska fans were pretty upset when the draw came out that they had to go to Arkansas to play the number one team in the country. But then, you come back and beat Northeastern, you blow out NJIT. They lost 5-1 to Arkansas on Saturday, but they didn't play that bad. They just had 10 walks and kept it still in the game with that. But then you win last night, 5-3. There's optimism. So I think people honestly believe that Nebraska is going to win this game because Arkansas has everything to lose. Nebraska has nothing to lose. They're a clear underdog despite being a 2 seed. This is the number 1 overall seed in the field. So I think you're going to see a Nebraska team that's probably a lot looser out there and having more fun and being a little bit more aggressive than an Arkansas team that's saying, we got to get to the next round. We're the number 1 seed, protecting our home field. And I think you'll see a team that's having fun for Nebraska, but expecting to win. And that's always a scary team to play in a game like this. So fans here expect to win. They're nervous, of course, but very optimistic about how this will go, and they'll be happy no matter what. Certainly, it's tough to lose, but it's been fun to see the optimism roll through here in a place that's been kind of pessimistic for a while for their sports.
Yeah, I got you. Jake Sorensen on 93.7 The Ticket in Lincoln. Huskers taking on Arkansas in a half an hour. Trying to get to the Super Regional, so if people don't follow college baseball, Super Regional is the final 16, and then, of course, Omaha is going to be popping for the College World Series. I'm excited about that. That's a great venue, a great place for one of the best summer sports events. So I'll ask you this. Huskers won the Big Ten title, Jake, last time, 2017, Darren Erstad, 2017. Yep. So this program we were talking about, always a little bit better, pretty solid, better than football recently, and then much better than basketball, which has always struggled. Why has baseball had the upper hand, and why has Will Bolt been able to do it this year?
Well, I got to say, Nebraska, for some reason, has pretty good in-state talent. Now, a lot of that does go elsewhere outside the state, but Nebraska has produced a lot of baseball talent that's gone Division I. They've gone pros. You had a couple guys, a couple of Gillespie brothers out of Omaha that were first and second round picks in recent years, and then there's more guys that are going beyond that. So it's talent in the Midwest staying home, but it's also the fact, again, as much as we praise Will Bolt, Darren Erstad was not a bad coach. There was nothing wrong with Erstad. He just did not get them to the next level. They were very close. A couple years ago, they had a 5-3 lead at Oklahoma State, gave up a 3-run home run with 2 outs in the ninth and 2 strikes, and lost the next day to not go to the regional final. So they were close under Erskine. It's just they didn't close it out. But in terms of why it's happened in baseball versus basketball and football,
yeah.
I mean, you're up in South Dakota. We love Tim Miles. I mean, we were sad it didn't work out for Tim. He's obviously a very likable coach. He's had success to a certain extent here. Only made one dance, but that was a magical year when he did. And the Nebraska Nate is producing some good talent now. Hunter Salas was a 5-star player that went to Gonzaga, left the state over in Nebraska and Creighton. They got a 4-star, could be a 5-star soon out of Grand Island in Nebraska that might consider one of the schools. Chucky Hepburn was a 4-star that went to Wisconsin. But those guys have not seen Nebraska be successful in basketball, so they're not exactly staying in state. So if Fred Hoiberg gets it rolling, then I start to believe that program will not only get good talent from outside the state, but also inside the state. And then the big question is football. When does that get rolling? There's a lot of frustration with that. I mean, you're hearing projections this year of anywhere from 6-6 to 7-5 as successful, which if you think about Nebraska historically, doesn't sound like success. But I'd say the expectations have been lowered significantly. If they roll out at 8-4. Still not where you want to be exactly, but there's optimism. So I think there's people in the state that are hoping this baseball run can kind of spark a magical year for Nebraska men's sports and get them back on track to be not just middle of the pack, but getting toward the top of the Big Ten in all their sports.
Okay, this is the toughest question of the day for Jake Sorensen, 93.7 The Ticket in Lincoln. I don't know if you've picked this or not, but South Point, Las Vegas, gave the over-under win total for the Huskers in Big Ten games. Just Big Ten games. They got them at 4.5. Can they win 5 or more Big Ten games?
I think they can. It's going to come down to how well they start the season. I mean, I've said this quite often on our show on Early Break here in Lincoln that Nebraska begins the season against Illinois in Champaign. New head coach Brett Bielema, but last year Illinois blasted Nebraska in Lincoln by double digits. So you're trying to get redemption there, but also it's a team that knows they can beat you. So if they lose that game, I'm going to say pretty comfortably they go under the 4.5. If they win that game, which I think they should, then I feel better about picking that. But they have chances to do that. Iowa's not unbeatable. Wisconsin's not unbeatable. Minnesota is not unbeatable. I mean, if Nebraska stops shooting themselves in the foot with stupid turnovers, untimely penalties, and terrible special teams, then they should be a team that contends for the West. But we have yet to see that in the Frost era, which has been frustrating. So they keep saying they're paying attention to detail and trying to fix that stuff. I mean, for me and most people would say, we'll believe it when we see it. But I'd say I'd go over the 4.5. But
you would.
It comes down to the Illinois game, Nate. It comes down to Illinois. If they lose that, I'd say I want to reverse quickly to under. Easily.
Okay. So that's a key part there. Big Ten win total for South Point, Las Vegas for the Husker football programs at 4.5. Jake Sorensen, be careful with your paycheck, okay? Don't go to Vegas. Be careful with that paycheck. I know you're coming to the hills, man. We'll see you hopefully when you get up here. I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thanks for the time, Nate. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate it. Jake Sorensen, he's on Early Break. That's the show, 93.7 The Ticket. Lincoln, here on the Nate Brown Show. Find him on Twitter at 937 Jake Sorensen. So he said, hey, baseball, man, can this be something that sparks. I don't think so. I mean, it's just so separate. And it's just that question I've asked. How can baseball be in this position? Rather consistent, and now on the verge, maybe College World Series, we'll see. I mean, they got to win here and keep winning, but how can baseball be in this position? And then, of course, you look at women's sports, volleyball, so through the roof. I mean, it's just unreal. What a program and tradition. And so it just, I think, simply goes to this. I mean, this is just the simple man's term when you're talking Husker sports. It applies to a lot of things. We win in certain sports around here, in the Black Hills, meaning we win in certain sports, and those programs are pretty healthy. Usually, even though high school sports is cyclical, very cyclical. Kids in, out. I mean, you get good classes, but good programs continue. Good programs continue, and at least are competitive for the most part. And then we've had our problems in certain sports, right? And if you lose, then it's a cycle, then nobody comes out. Okay, you go to the college ranks. He just mentioned it there a little bit. He said, hey, Husker basketball, Tim Miles won a little bit, but then not enough. And now I'd argue Husker basketball's in worse shape. I mean, they're not doing well. Tim Miles had a lot of wins compared to Fred Hoiberg, okay? Nebraska football was the program. Now the college football landscape has changed, and Scott Frost, I would expect, though, should be doing better now, and that's why people say, what are the expectations here? How many wins? What do we think? As you look into the Big Ten, very, very tough football conference. Very, very good for the Huskers in baseball to be as competitive, and they've won, and they stay there in baseball. Football, they won, then it went a little south. Now football landscape's changed, and the Big Ten is a juggernaut. A juggernaut. I still believe Nebraska football needs to be competitive in the Big Ten West, meaning for that side of the conference. A lot of people say, well, Nebraska, will they ever get back to the national perspective and platform? Well, they just start with the Big Ten West, and I believe that's doable. You look at the programs, that is doable. You're not having to battle Ohio State for the title all the time, but the Big Ten West is the big step to me for football, realistically. Coming right back with Vinny Iyer, NFL writer for the Sporting News. Okay, I really want to tell you, I think this trade was a big thing that people thought, oh, this is going to be massive. I really don't think it does much. We'll discuss next.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
For most of us, our home is our biggest investment, and an investment in Renewal by Andersen windows or patio doors will pay you back every single day in many ways. Renewal by Andersen in this part of America is a local family business. Our owner, Andy, grew up on a ranch. It's been in his family for over 100 years, and Andy was taught as a kid to do what's right. That's what we do at Renewal by Andersen every single day. Our windows and patio doors are installed by certified master installers. They are great local people who truly care about that perfect fit and finish. Our windows and patio doors are not only energy efficient, they keep your home quieter and more comfortable, and they are so easy to open, close, and clean. You will feel the difference every day. Please visit our website at rbarapidcity.com or give us a call at 605-593-5991. That's 605-593-5991. Renewal by Andersen. Ask about our great financing offers right now.
For nearly 100 years, Connex has been providing the know-how and materials to help their neighbors grow. Through partnerships with builders, homeowners, and contractors, Connect Home Centers have impacted our communities, making them stronger and safer through support of local organizations and neighborhood beautification projects. Improving the quality of life for others is important to us. We are Connect Home Center, your hometown lumberyard lending a helping hand in building our communities since 1928.
Have you suffered an injury, or maybe you're experiencing pain that just won't get better? There's an expert team of physicians right here in Rapid City ready to help you get back in the game. The Rehab Doctors. They're the official sports medicine physicians of the Rapid City Rush, and they're the team that wants to help you get back on track. You have a choice for your medical care, and there's no referral necessary. For pain relief without surgery, take the first step to feeling better. Just go to therehabdoctors.com.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City, kicking off the Monday. Exciting stuff tonight. I'm excited about this. Husker baseball against Arkansas coming up. We'll get you posted on that. Also, Nuggets Suns tonight. I'm interested in that. Can somebody please beat the Nets, by the way? Can somebody please beat the Nets? Just take the Nets out. I look forward to the Clippers exiting. Lakers are already gone. I love it. I love that. And I want the Clippers. Well, the Nets. I really need the Nets out of there. It's going to be a tough duty, but somebody, please. We'll talk a little NBA hoops. Kevin Figures on the way. Fox Sports Radio Los Angeles on tap. Big announcement out of Sioux Falls today. I really want to get into it. We will with the president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. They've announced the biggest sports turf project in the country in Sioux Falls. This is interesting. He's coming up. Vinny Ayers on right now, NFL writer, Sporting News. Vinny wrote an interesting piece on the big trade. The Titans get Julio Jones. The Titans get Julio Jones. Vinny, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing well, Nate. Thanks for having me again.
I appreciate your time. Been wanting to talk to you and kind of talk this off season here. So let's look at this piece. You say, okay, Titans get Julio Jones and a 6th-round pick. The Falcons just got a 2nd-round pick for next year and then a 4th-round pick. Do you think the Falcons just had to make the deal? Who do you think really came out here on top?
Well, it's never good to make a deal out of desperation. That's what they were in at this point. I mean, you had to sign your draft picks, and they didn't have enough money to do that. And that's what the new general manager there, Terry Fontenot, coming from New Orleans, that's what he's charged with, is cleaning up the cap mess. You've seen a guy that's somewhat close to there do it in Minnesota, Rick Spielman, and just say, look, we have to cut all these heavy salaries of players that are no longer worth the value, and we've got to move on. You see what they've done, replaced all their guys pretty well in Minnesota. So Atlanta's starting that process. They're hacking away. They had a little bit too much money there invested offensively, and you got to pay Calvin Ridley at some point here soon, so you can't have 2 wide receivers get that massive salary. You just drafted a special receiver there in Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida. So it made sense. It was a natural transition. I think the Pitts move was made knowing a couple things, that Julio was too expensive, and they were probably going to transition to using more 2 tight end sets this year with Hayden Hurst. So that all made sense. If they want to move him out of the offense, it's a good time, and it happened to be that Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator of the Titans last year, so there was a connection there that they could sell him. And you look at it from the Titans' perspective, they couldn't really afford Julio Jones either, but I think they're looking at themselves as a team that maybe is 1 or 2 players away from breaking through, having enough offense to win the AFC and get to the Super Bowl. So I don't know if that's the case, because I think they have a lot of defensive issues, but when you can do that, you have to go for the fences here, because I don't think Ryan Tannehill, I know he's played very well for 2 seasons. I don't think he's going to be necessarily a long-term answer for them either. So this is your window. When Derrick Henry's in his prime, you've got your offensive lineman here. you have to go after it. That's what the Titans are doing. It might only be a 1 or 2 year deal here because they're going to have to pay A.J. Brown as well. But from their perspective, they want to go for it while Atlanta rebuilding. So they found each other as good partners here.
Okay, Vinny Iyer, NFL writer, Sporting News, talking Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans. And you kind of went down that road, which is where I was going. Julio Jones, big name, but I just don't think he takes a Titans team over the top. But how much value do you place in him, Vinny? I mean, if you're doing this deal and, the Titans, you say, well, you got to go for stuff like this. I don't think he takes him over the top with an NFL run-heavy team.
Well, you have to also look at what happened to the Titans this offseason. I mean, they lost Jonnu Smith at tight end. That's a big loss because they're not quite sure that Anthony Firkser, who's been the backup, is going to be elevated to that level of blocking and helping them in many different ways. Jonnu Smith was a Swiss Army knife type player, could block, could catch passes when needed. So that's what the Patriots paid him quite a bit to come over there. So you lose him. That's a tough player to lose because he gives you so much. And then you lose Corey Davis. So that's the thing that people have to understand is Corey Davis had a pretty good season last year. I mean, this is a first-round pick from Western Michigan where it didn't look like things were going to go his way. He was ever going to live up to that. But suddenly he found that A.J. Brown on the other side was a good complementary receiver, and he cashed in immediately with the Jets as a free agent. So basically, that's what Julio Jones is doing. He's replacing Corey Davis and what he gave them with A.J. Brown, but he's not going to help you replace Jonnu Smith there and what he had. So the offense is going to take a step back in different ways. Yeah, they can make a lot of big plays. Two guys that are very similar receivers, a lot of speed, going to make some big plays off play action. But your versatility is a little bit limited with this team now without Jonnu Smith in there. So, yeah. And we'll also see Arthur Smith was a very good play caller. So you lose him to Atlanta. He's on their side now. We'll have to see how his replacement, the next guy in line, Todd Downing, does.
Interesting. One quick one on the Falcons. It feels like a changing of the guard here. I mean, Julio's been catching passes from Matt Ryan for a long time, since 2011. And you wonder, how much time left for Matt Ryan down there?
Well, that would seem to be the next guy that they have to think about replacing at some point. Is he still living up to the money he's worth? We probably see him peak there in 2016 when he was the NFL MVP. Great season with Kyle Shanahan, but since then it's been tough, partly because the offensive line hasn't been totally there. The receivers have kind of been in flux, and Julio hasn't been totally healthy there either. That's why they kind of had to draft Calvin Ridley in the first round, because they knew Julio had some durability issues that made that transition. Remember, back in the day, it was Roddy White and Tony Gonzalez and Julio Jones, and that was the way they set it up. So they've gone through transition, a lot of different offenses there. Yet another one for Matt Ryan. I think his most comfortable one was Kyle Shanahan, but he had Steve Sarkisian, then he went back to Dirk Cutter. These were just not the right offenses for him. So now you go to Smith, whose focus is going to be on the running game, play action, make the quarterback's job a lot easier. So maybe Matt Ryan is not going to be trusted to throw for 4,500 to 5,000 yards. More, I think if they're successful, I think you're going to see him more throw in the 4,000 yard range here with this team. So it's a lot of transition for Matt Ryan. We thought they could look at the quarterback this year, but certainly it's going to become a factor next year when you can start to think about how you can get out of Matt Ryan's contract.
I was wondering, so here's a couple of guys I've got. Falcons are going to be looking quarterback next year in the draft, you would think, because they're maybe Matt Ryan's last run here, potentially, or at least a couple of years left. Same story with Kirk Cousins, do you believe, with the Vikings after seeing that, hey, they tried getting up to get Justin Fields. Is this it for Kirk Cousins?
I think for sure. I mean, don't sleep on Kellen Mond actually seeing some playing time this year. I mean, they might make that transition faster. And again, Rick Spielman, I don't think he regrets getting Kirk Cousins, but it handcuffed them in many spots with that contract. And they were fortunate to get Justin Jefferson directly to replace Stephon Diggs. They're rebuilding their defense still. So there's a lot of things there that are positive with Minnesota. But, yeah, I think as well as Kirk Cousins has played the last 2 years, he's very expensive, and he's getting up there. I don't think you're going to see much more from Kirk Cousins. It's about the peak of his performance. And remember, a lot of it is run-oriented as well, playing off Dalvin Cook, the play action as well. Really, they use more two tight end sets than anyone. I talk about the Titans, but the Vikings have been in that mode, and now you lose Kyle Rudolph, so we'll see how that shakes out here in 2021. So, yeah, I think they have to move on. I think everyone's realizing, look, this league is transitioning to a lot of dual threat guys. It's nice to have the pocket passer, but you get that amazing element, even with a Josh Allen type, where he's got the big arm, but he's going to give you a lot of mobility as well. So those are the type of quarterbacks teams want to transition more to, because that's the way this league is going. You have to have that quarterback who can create a matchup nightmare beyond just throwing the ball downfield.
Last one for Vinny Iyer, NFL writer, Sporting News. Aaron Rodgers unlikely to go to mandatory OTAs. That's not a surprise, I don't think. So that's where some fines can come in. What do you make of the Packers president saying Aaron Rodgers is dividing the fan base? Do you think more fans are with the Packers or with Aaron, Vinny? What's your pulse?
Well, I think they probably understand a little bit the Packers' perspective, but you also have the MVP as your quarterback. I don't know where you're going to get anyone better than that unless you make some crazy move for Patrick Mahomes. Like, there's not much else you can go at quarterback here in this league and feel good about the situation. So, look, I think this management is still continuing to say the wrong things, whether it's Mark Murphy or Brian Gutekunst. They're just not handling this well at all. Like, just keep working on trying to mend fences with this guy, because, again, speaking of Kirk Cousins, like, if Kirk Cousins was let in on the fact that the Vikings were looking at a quarterback to replace him, that Aaron Rodgers wasn't, I mean, I think that was a grievous mistake, and I think they'll keep paying for it, just because the factor of them not totally trusting in Aaron Rodgers. This is going to create more distrust saying that he's part of the guy driving the wedge between the organization and the fans.
Vinny Iyer on today, sportingnews.com, NFL writer here on the Nate Brown Show. Find him on Twitter at Vinny Iyer. Vinny, good to have you as always, man. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. Vinny Iyer on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City, NFL writer, Sporting News, on Twitter at Vinny Iyer. So Julio Jones to the Titans. Does that light the lamp there? Does that light the lamp? It's interesting. It's interesting. A.J. Brown, really good. A.J. Brown's over there. Big wide receiver, too. 6-footer, 225. You got Julio Jones, big guy on the other side. And Derrick Henry, power rushing. I'm not going to scoff at it. I just don't think all of a sudden the Titans are like the blockbuster Patrick Mahomes offense. Ryan Tannehill, I'm fine. I'm fine with him. I'm not, this was the deal that he needed. He just needed a receiver. As in, I said that like with Josh Allen. I said Josh Allen at Buffalo, he needs some guys. They went out and got some. And I believe that that's a bigger impact. I don't know if Julio Jones all of a sudden makes Ryan Tannehill just unreal and throwing for 300 yards a game. That's just not the Titans' deal. They're still going to pound it. They're going to play action. Tannehill's been good. He's middle tier, and I think he still stays there. So I think the Tennessee offense with Julio Jones, better? Not going to be all of a sudden, oh, wow, here we go, top 5, top 10. Here we go. They're going to pound it. They're going to play action. They got another target there, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. We'll see how good Julio still is. How good is Julio still? It's been pretty good. I mean, this 7-time Pro Bowler, okay? Been pretty good. We know that. 32 years old. I'm not really scared of the Titans in the AFC. I don't think it all of a sudden, oh, yeah, this was the piece to get them back in that AFC title contention. I don't think so. Coming right back with Kevin Figures, Fox Sports Radio in Los Angeles, AM 570. I want to break down some stuff with Kevin when it comes to the NBA and the Denver Nuggets' chances. He's on the way.
The Nate Brown Show.
You might not know that Renewal by Anderson is a local family business. The owner here is Andy Stelflew. He's a fourth-generation rancher who learned about customer service and the land of opportunity early on.
Over and over again, I heard it's about the customer. It's signature service, treating the customer the right way. What a blessing it is to live in America. What a blessing it is to live in a country of the free, that if you want to do something grow, you can.
Renewal by Anderson, great windows and great local people who never forget it's about the customer.
At Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well maintained tire and speed shop, over the top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
This is the story of Ted. Ted didn't play the lotto with everyone else at the office. Jackpot? Ha! Ted laughed. Sure, it's fun to dream, but you're never gonna win. Until they did. Guess who still works at the office? Ted. Guess who doesn't? Everyone else. Don't be a Ted. You've got a lot to win. Give yourself a chance. Play lotto games from the South Dakota Lottery today. Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
Hello everyone, this is Todd Singh with Singh Contracting. I'm here to remind you it's time to get that roof done. So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll give you our own estimate, separate from insurance, so you can make sure they're taking care of you. Call today, 343-ROOF. That's 343-7663. Or visit us at singhcontracting.com. Don't delay, call today. Bye!
Hey, it's Nate Brown. I got to tell you about Pour 54 in downtown Rapid City. If you haven't been there yet, make plans now. You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you, Pour 54 has 3 levels, plenty of space, 54 taps of craft beer, wine, hard seltzer, and hard cider. At Pour 54, you are your own bartender. No more waiting on drinks. You just grab a glass, make your choice, pour from the tap. Oh yeah, the food, out of this world. Get your night started with their pretzel board and then order up one of the awesome Pour 54 Detroit-style pan pizzas. They're unbelievable. If it's date night, after work happy hour, or just watching the big game, Pour 54 is the best place to go. And I know you'll absolutely love it like I do. There's simply no place like it in Rapid City or this region. Pour 54 opens at 3 p.m., located downtown Rapid City at 615 Main Street. You want to experience Pour 54.
Hey, Rapid City, it's Doug Gottlieb. Join me weekdays from 1 to 4 right here on 106.7 FM and 11:50 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now let's get you back to the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City's sports talk show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on a Monday. Thanks for spending some time with us. I appreciate that. You know, you keep me company here on, I have to come into work and just have to, do this show. So you keep me company, right? Thanks for checking in with us. We do appreciate it. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City. Going to go out to Columbus, Ohio. Columbus Dispatch columnist Rob Aller, one of our favorites. He covers the Buckeyes extensively, but we're going to get into the Memorial Golf Tournament. Of course, the big story with Jon Rahm losing, getting kicked out of the tournament, basically. Didn't get the vaccine, tested positive, had a 6-stroke lead there going into Sunday. Could have cost him $1.67 million. We've asked that question of the day. Do you feel bad for Jon Rahm or not? I believe they don't have to be mutually exclusive, meaning, you can have some compassion when things bad happen, okay? Not saying it's right or wrong. You can have some compassion, yet you can have some accountability, too. And Jon Rahm didn't make the best decision for his business venture. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I say, do you feel bad or not for Jon Rahm? I don't think they're mutually exclusive. Boy, the vote is close, so that kind of tells me a lot, too. Let's go to Kevin Figures, Fox Sports Radio. Also, AM 570, Los Angeles. The Clippers get through. The Lakers don't. Kevin, thanks for coming on. How are you?
It's always a pleasure, Nate. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good, man. So let me ask you about this before we get to the Clippers and things. The Lakers. We know what happened. Anthony Davis injury, that derailed the whole thing. LeBron didn't play well, in my opinion, even just surrounded by guys that didn't play well either, in my opinion. So I said on Friday, Kevin, I said, hey, whether people love LeBron, don't like LeBron at all, I think we might have seen the best or the last of the best of LeBron. I believe that. Am I wrong?
Probably not. Look, he's going to be 37 years old this upcoming season, and he's dealing the 2 of the last 3 years. The Lakers have not made the postseason with LeBron James on the roster. Had the groin injury 2 years ago. They obviously won the championship last year. And then this year, Solomon Hill falls on his ankle. He gets injured. Now, the types of injuries that LeBron James has suffered, anybody can suffer. A 22 healthy guy can run on the court and slip on a wet spot and injure his groin. Somebody can fall on top of your ankle and you can get injured as well. The problem with LeBron James is his age. Whereas he would have bounced back much more quickly 7 or 8 years ago, it's going to take a little bit more time. And he just wasn't playing at 100% or probably even 80%, to be honest with you, for this postseason run for the Lakers. So more than anything, yes, LeBron James is never going to be the same player he was, say, 5 years ago. I do believe he can play at a high level because, look, the first month and a half of the season, he was right up there with Joel Embiid when people talking about favorites for the MVP. He got out to that really, really hot start. So then after he got injured, things really slowed down for him. So is he ever going to be back to what he was before? No. But he can still be a great player, still an all-star player, still can be the best player on your team to help you win a championship.
Okay, so you think that. Okay, I'm starting to fade there just because I also wonder if it's kind of a mental thing, meaning he's talking about Space Jam. He's got a lot of things going. I wonder, how long's LeBron going to stick this out? I just wonder. I don't see it being a Tom Brady type deal. This is basketball. I don't think he can do that. Jordan faded late. How long is he going to stick this out, do you expect?
Well, I expect him to. He signed that contract extension with the Lakers for at least 3 more seasons. So he's going to be in LA for at least till 2024, 2025. Now, at that point in time, how effective of a player is he? Is he still the best player? Look, you can argue that Anthony Davis, when healthy, when both of them are healthy, you can argue that Anthony Davis is the better player for the Lakers now. But his skills are going to continue to decline. Like you mentioned, Father Time is undefeated. It happens to each and every last one of us, even the all-time greats. So it's up to him to find a way to be able to adjust his game to be able to play as high of a level as he possibly can at the age of 37, 38, 39. The bigger question for the Lakers is, can Anthony Davis continue to ascend and be the player you expect him to be and remain healthy throughout this run so he can very easily supplant LeBron as the best player on the roster? And I think that's the biggest question. I think the Lakers knew when they signed LeBron James to this extension, there were going to be some diminishing returns on the back end, specifically the last 2 or 3 years of this contract. The big thing is, can he play with Anthony Davis? Can Anthony Davis stay healthy? And can they have that seamless transition from one star player to the next? Mm-hmm. And that's where they kind of find themselves right now, especially with Anthony Davis being banged up yet again. This is the issue they find themselves in. Can Anthony Davis actually be the bell cow they expected him to be when they signed him to that 4-year extension? And that's something they have to figure out here quickly.
I think that's a big question. I think you make a good point with Anthony Davis. That's a big question for me. I don't know as I watch those games, too. Kevin Figures covers them AM 570 Los Angeles. He's on Fox Sports Radio. He's here on the Nate Brown Show talking Lakers there. So Clippers get through. I've got an announcement, Kevin. I think our Denver Nuggets around here, we got a lot of Nuggets people, okay, close by. The Denver Nuggets might be able to get it done in the West. I believe that. Do you think the West is open, or are you on the Clippers bandwagon here?
The West is semi-open. I don't believe that Denver has enough juice to get into the conference finals and make it to the NBA finals.
You don't?
Without Jamal Murray.
Okay.
Without Jamal Murray. The conference finals, possibly. Nikola Jokic has had a phenomenal season. He's going to be the league MVP. He should be the league MVP. Michael Porter Jr. has come on recently. He's really stepped his game up. But as you get deeper and deeper into the postseason and teams have to scout for you more and you play better competition, it's going to be harder. It's hard for me to see the Denver Nuggets being able to beat either Utah or the Clippers should they make it to the next round. Out of Phoenix is no chopped liver. Phoenix is a really good team as well. when they're healthy. Now, I know Chris Paul is fighting through a bit of a shoulder injury, and him not being healthy is a concern for them. Denver absolutely can beat Phoenix. It's hard for me to see Denver finding a way to beat the Clippers or the Utah Jazz in the next round.
So, Clippers, Utah. Who are you going?
So, the expectation, I know the Jazz, I believe, are favored, as they should be, at the best record in the league this year. But I think the Clippers, when they put it together, are a better team. Now, the problem is, I said when they put it together. They have not been consistent all season long. They clearly were not consistent against the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic ate them for lunch. Now, Luka Doncic is one of the best individual players in the NBA. You can't deny that. Utah is a phenomenal on the offensive end and the defensive end. The big issue for me, or I should say the big question in this matchup, is going to be the likely defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert. Can you keep him on the floor if and when the Clippers decide to go small? If you think of the turning point in the Clippers series against Dallas, it's when the Clippers decided to go small and take Ivica Zubac out of the starting lineup so they can make themselves more versatile defensively on the perimeter against Luka Doncic. Now I think they might do that for a different reason when it comes to facing against Utah. Now you're bringing Rudy Gobert out of the paint and forcing him to defend people in pick and rolls where he's not as effective. So I think that's the big issue for the Jazz in defending the Clippers. The big issue for the Clippers with the Jazz is they can kill you in so many different ways. We know Donovan Mitchell is one of the best players, young players in the NBA, but they move the ball so well, are great offensively shooting the ball from the outside. It's a really, really good matchup. But I think with Kawhi Leonard playing the way that he's played, I think he's been the most dominant individual performer in this postseason, despite the fact of what the numbers that Luka Doncic has put up. Kawhi Leonard shot 60% from the field and averaged 33 points a game. I mean, that's ridiculous for anybody to do that in today's NBA. So if you're asking me to make a pick, you can call it a homer pick if you want. But I do think from an on-paper talent standpoint, with the two best individual players in this series being Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I'm going to take the Clippers and trust that those guys have figured it out. They shook off all the negative juju from last year in the bubble. They got off to a bit of some adversity and going down 0-2 in the first series against Dallas. And it's not going to be easy against Utah, and it wouldn't surprise me if this series went 6 or 7 as well. But I do think they got a boost of confidence knowing that they were able to come back from 0-2 and basically having to win every single road game against the Dallas Mavericks. I think they're riding high on confidence right now.
I'll tell you, Kevin Figures, you've been consistent, though. You said when I had you on before, Clippers, look out. Clippers, you were pretty good with that early. You're going to stay with it. I'm just saying, Nuggets, look out. I don't think they win tonight, by the way, Kevin. The Nuggets won't win tonight, but I think they can get by the Suns. We shall see. Pretty good playoffs right now. Kevin Figures on AM 570, Los Angeles, and Fox Sports Radio Zone. Kevin, thanks a lot, man. Have a great night. Appreciate it.
You too, Nate. Always a pleasure.
All right. Thanks a lot. Kevin Figures on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Appreciate his time. Fox Sports Radio and AM 570 out in L.A. covering the Clippers and Lakers. All right. Let's get into the Drive at 5 and look at a South Dakota sports story. This is a big one. We got some interesting interviews coming up this next hour, so hang on. But I want to get my reaction here. What does Sioux Falls' announcement today mean for Rapid City? Like, this just isn't small. This is big. But what does the Sioux Falls sports announcement today mean for Rapid City? I'll give you my take next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, streaming live at FoxSportsRapidCity.com and right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
It's Honda's certified Dream Deal sales event. Up to an additional 2 years, 50,000 miles comprehensive warranty, plus certified Hondas come with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, free oil changes your first year, and 24/7 roadside assistance. See Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda for all the certified details. At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. Did you know that vehicles are in high demand? Due to limited inventory, your vehicle has never been worth more. Stop by any of our Rapid City Denny Menholt dealerships and either sell or trade today. Located off I-90 on East Mall Drive. Drive in today.
Physical therapy, athletic training, and sports science all at one place. Physio in Rapid City. Dr. Dan Jensen and his team at Physio are ready to help you perform at your best. From the youth athlete to the active adult, trust the team at Physio. Physio offers the skilled, personalized approach to physical therapy and athletic training, building the best athletes in the Black Hills as the official strength and conditioning provider for Stevens, Central, and the Rapid City Rush. Learn more at bhphysio.com.
Would you rather walk across hot coals or have poison ivy? Everywhere. Some choices are a lose-lose, but it's all win-win at Taco John's. Choose 3 chicken street tacos or 3 chicken soft-shell tacos for just $5. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
For even more win-wins, download the Taco John's app for exclusive deals. So technically, that's a win-win-win.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying your first home or maybe upgrading to a home that you will really love? Real estate is an important investment that you want to get right. I have been in the business of finding the right home for 15 years. To get started, contact me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044. Let's open the door to your new home and say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Get in the herd weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
Well, welcome back in. Thanks for being here in the Drive at 5 on a Monday on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live weekdays 4 to 6. Just getting started this week. Steve Young's coming up. I was going to mess with you guys. I was going to mess with you and say all show long. I was going to say, we got Steve Young coming up. Steve Young. We do. But Steve Young, the president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. Big job. Not that Steve Young of 49er fame, okay? USFL fame, by the way. But no, Steve Young coming up, president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. A massive announcement today. Really, really big. We'll talk to him straight ahead. Appreciate him coming on. Rob Allers on the way from Columbus, Ohio. He covered the Memorial Golf Tournament. What's his take on Jon Rahm? No vaccine, tested positive, kicked out of the tournament. No $1.67 million for Rahm. He led by 6 shots going into the final day. Rob Aller covered it. Columbus Dispatch. He's on the way. Busy Drive at 5 here on the Nate Brown Show. Brought to you by Summit Automotive. Find them online first, summitautogrp.com. Summitautogrp.com, where you want to start your search. Car buying truly built around you at Summit Automotive. So what is that announcement from Sioux Falls? Here it is. The Sanford Sports Complex. Now, if you've been out to Sioux Falls in the Sanford Sports area, here's what we got. I'll give you the lay of the land. You go I-90, then you go down I-29. You start going south, right? I should say east, okay? I-29, and you start going down that way, and then you see the Sanford Pentagon. You see the Sanford Pentagon, okay? I should say off to the east side. Sanford Pentagon's off to the east side. Then you have the Sanford Fieldhouse. That's the indoor facility, Sanford Fieldhouse. And then you see Great Shots. This is the playoff Top Golf. Great Shots. Really nice, really nice. And then around that, so you got Great Shots, Sanford Pentagon, Sanford Fieldhouse, okay? Around that, you've got fields. I mean, just fields of empty space. And I was out there a few times this past year. And as I was driving through there covering the state basketball tournaments, things like this, I started thinking, these fields aren't going to be empty for much longer, right? I mean, I didn't know. I didn't have any idea about this. But I said, all these acres, this isn't going to be empty. I mean, you come right off the interstate, boom, easy exit. Then you have the Sanford Pentagon. You have some hotels popping. You have stuff popping. Then you have all this empty space. I said, what's happening here? And we find out today. The Sanford Sports Complex is expanding in Sioux Falls. They broke ground this afternoon on the biggest sports turf project in the country. Okay? This comes from T. Denny Sanford. T. Denny Sanford donated $300 million to start making these additions. That's a little bit of dollars. That's kind of a big number. So they're looking at doing this. All of those fields, they're going to change into this. I just looked at the mock-up this afternoon. They're going to have 18 new outdoor turf fields. They already have the Sanford Fieldhouse. That's indoor turf. Done some indoor soccer in there, football, things of that nature. Okay, so that's indoor turf. Now they're going to go outdoors, 18 fields, 1.7 million square feet of turf, 173 acres. Okay, they're going to have lights. They're going to have baseball, softball, soccer, lacrosse, and other activities. And they're going to be ready to go next year. They're going to be ready to go next year. The new outdoor complex is going to be off the charts. I mean, this is not just, well, this is pretty nice for South Dakota. This isn't one of those things. This is the biggest outdoor sports turf project in the country. In the country. So I say, okay, what does that mean for Rapid City? We're over here. We're thinking we got to keep up with the Joneses. We got to do this. We got to do that. I'm a believer in a lot of that. I don't like playing second fiddle. You better believe that. I'd love Rapid City, the Black Hills. What we have here, we've got something special as far as a destination. I believe we haven't tapped into our sports tourism as much as we can, because we have all of this other tourism and economic impact that we do enjoy. Okay? So our sports tourism is not at the level of Sioux Falls. They don't have the Black Hills. So they've done the Sioux Falls Sports Authority. They've invested heavy dollars in making it a sports destination for tournaments and events from a national scale, right? They've been on national TV, the whole thing. But now this, I say, okay, what does this mean for Rapid City? Do we have to get cranking? I'm gonna say this. This is my initial reaction as I thought about it this afternoon. We have to get cranking, not with 18 outdoor turf fields, okay? We aren't going to have a so-called Pentagon here, I don't believe, but we can get in the game. Meaning, we can tap into our Vision Fund, which we have done so well over the years. The Vision Fund is such a smart thing. I buy into that so big. I love the Vision Fund. The 1 cent tax, we get it from visitors and, yes, ourselves here, but it does so much from a quality of life standpoint, from parks to events to facilities to sports complexes as well, to the new event center, the new monument, right? The new monument arena. So we have a funding source. We don't have Denny Sanford. We don't need the $300 million because we don't have it. So I find it's not as if we just have to give up. We don't have to. I hear that quite a bit. Oh, we don't have Sanford. We don't have this. I want to make sure we stay in the game. We don't have to beat them at the game. We just need to stay in the game because we have such a great destination, city, Black Hills. What a destination this is. The soccer fields out there that we put in, outstanding. Okay? The Monument Arena is going to be outstanding. Fitzgerald, the new Fitzgerald Stadium, outstanding. Okay? There are certain things that we can do. We don't have to have the biggest sports turf project in the country to still be viable, to still be a real destination for sports tourism. I believe that. But you don't want to just, well, there they go again, and we're out. Because then that's when you're going to lose events, softball, baseball, the list goes on. Okay, we may not have the 18 turf fields. We don't have Denny Sanford, who's doing as much out here. We've done it smart. We've done it, I do believe, walking through the Vision Fund and putting together some great projects. I think we stay in the game. This doesn't mean we just lose the game. I really believe that. We've got what Sioux Falls doesn't have. They need to make big splashes like this, in my opinion, to make it a big, attractive place to do this. And they're in an area where, boom, coming from the north, the east, the west, the south, Iowa, North Dakota, that's why they're doing stuff like this. And the $300 million helps. Right? I mean, that helps. It's a big story. It's a big project. Rapid City doesn't need to be at that level. It's kind of how this new arena went. We were thinking, we need to be the Pepsi Center in Denver. I know, we could get excited about that. We could be the Pepsi Center. In my opinion, we didn't need to be. We just need to do what we do well, stay in the game, make sure people know the Black Hills is the place to be for a lot of reasons, or the place to come for a lot of reasons. We don't need the 18 turf fields. It's good that Sioux Falls is rolling with that. I think we'll enjoy some of that. We just have to make sure we stay in the game. Don't just bail. Don't bail. I think sometimes we get a defeatist attitude. We're never going to get this. We don't need that. We got a lot, and we've got a good funding source. We've done it smart. Coming right back with Steve Young. He is the president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. I'll get into this project, how they got it done, why they're doing it. Also, Rob Aller on the way. Columbus Dispatch, talking the Memorial Golf Tournament, and John Rahm next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show and like us on Facebook by searching Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a chance for scattered thunderstorms. Lows level off around 62. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 92. A mix of clouds and sun. Cloudy skies tomorrow night. Chance for scattered storms. Lows dip down to about 64. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 83.
Consumers everywhere are rediscovering the benefits of buying locally produced food. Not only is it fresher, tastier, and more nutritious, it's also good for the local economy. And did you know the Village Hearth hamburger and hot dog buns you love are baked right here in the Midwest? With 3 state-of-the-art facilities, freshly baked buns are delivered every day to your neighborhood grocers. Village Hearth Buns, baking our best for you.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we owe a debt of gratitude to our Swedish friends for bringing the buffet to America in 1939. Unfortunately, they called it the smorgasbord, which is, let's just say, a unique word. But we liked the idea so much, we started our own buffet and loaded it up with pizza, chicken, sides, salads, and our one-of-a-kind cactus bread. And then we made it even better by letting you request the pizza you want on the buffet every time you visit. We call it Buffet Your Way, because smorgasbord your way, well, it doesn't rhyme at all. Pizza Ranch.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their #1 priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
Farmers and ranchers with up to 24% lower shop rates than most local dealers. Adams ISC in Rapid City is your single go-to source for ag equipment inspection, service, and repair, including air conditioning. With over 20 years experience, Adams ISC Ag Tech Gary Christensen will have your ag equipment repaired and serviced to your satisfaction, either in our shop or at your location with our fully equipped field service truck on Deadwood Avenue in Rapid City or at 605-343-9393. Contact Adams ISC.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. Your Sports, Your Show, the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Packed lineup tonight coming up. Steve Young, he's the president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. Big story out of Sioux Falls. It's a big sports project. Baseball, softball, soccer, lacrosse, and more. What are you telling me? I got to go to Sioux Falls for more tournaments? Potentially. I just said. I really believe that you got to find your lane. You got to find your lane. It's not defeatist. It's not give up. Oh, we don't want this or that. It's doing things smart. It's okay. What should we do? We should build some new facilities. We got to stay up with current demand and do some things on the sports tourism side that I believe we can really do here with such a great attraction. I still think we can tap into that at a high level. I really do. Sports tourism on top of our tourism that we get. And the Black Hills are special, there's no doubt. So the Vision Fund's great. What visionaries set that up. And I think you just keep rolling with new projects, thinking things through, and making sure it's like I said, you don't just give up when you're Rapid City trying to compete. Well, they have the Pentagon and they have the Premier Center and now they have this new facility and this and that. And then on the sports side, by the way, we always hear that argument. Well, they have the facilities and the trainers and everything. We've got good stuff over here, and it's just been cranking up lately. It really has. Our facilities, our sports training, the whole thing. We really have. We're just starting to really crank that up, but you got to tap into it. You got to spend time and get after it. There's just no doubt. There's got to be a commitment all the way around. Facilities don't do it all. There's just no doubt. So I'll point that out. We're going to talk to Steve Young coming up, president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls, about the project. Biggest sports turf project in the country. Groundbreaking today in Sioux Falls. Remember, I said this. I said, hey, well, let's not lose events either from a high school sports standpoint. So I think we've done some good things there. And by the way, there's people talking about the state track meet, which we just had here over Memorial Day weekend. The state track meet, people were talking about, there wasn't enough hotels or they were too expensive and things like this. And sometimes that can be seen as, okay, maybe Rapid City or the Black Hills, maybe that's not the best spot. Hang on a second, okay? Let's think it through. And people are talking about how can we do state track and do it well? We're not going to give up on that one either. Not going to give up on that one. Just play it smart and stay in the game. That's all I'll say when it comes to that. But people are discussing state track, how to do it right, and make sure that it's all good across the board. I still think we need to be in that mix on the state track meet as well. And no, we're not going to give up every tournament or every event to Sioux Falls. That's not happening. Quick question of the day. Let's get an update. Question of the day is interesting to me. I wonder where people sit. You know, it's such a black and white thing sometimes. People are so edgy one way or the other with, especially now, COVID-19 and sports and some of the questions, and it all came to a head yesterday. PGA golfer Jon Rahm withdraws from the Memorial Golf Tournament because he had a positive COVID-19 test. He also did not get the vaccine because there's 2 sets of rules. End of story. One set of rules is for the players with the vaccine. You don't have to do testing. The other set of rules, you don't have the vaccine. You do have to do the testing. Then he tested positive, came in close contact earlier in the week, tested positive, was 6 shots ahead in the going into the final day. Could have won that thing. Who knows? Was in good shape to win the $1.67 million. And I want to know where you're at. Do you feel bad for PGA golfer Jon Rahm? Do you feel bad? Yes, you do feel bad. You have some compassion there. No, there's simply consequences. There's simply consequences. Listener text coming in. Let's see this. Rahm made a business choice in not getting the vaccine, so I don't feel sorry for him on missing out on the cash of business. And I see that. I see it as a business choice. That's what Jack Nicklaus said. Jack Nicklaus golf tournament, it's his tournament. He said it's really a business decision when you get into this level. When you get into this level. And they know that. He wasn't like surprised all of a sudden, oh, I didn't know I was going to get kicked out. And that's where you're going to walk through this as we transition through this time. NFL's dealing with it. Players, are they going to be under strict protocol? Are they not? Okay? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. You're going to have to make the call. Am I going to do this so I can have easier protocols and just kind of get back to normal? Or am I not going to do it? Coaches, players, the whole thing. Businesses can make these choices, and that's what the PGA is. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Yeah, I believe it's yes or no. If you want to take the vaccine, either way, most people don't care. It's your choice. And it comes down to anybody else in the workplace. If you don't want to take that vaccine and you get COVID, you're not going to get paid, and you shouldn't.
Well, that's kind of the deal. I mean, the PGA Tour is a workplace. I'm a believer in that along the way. Like, hey, employers, they'll get to say what to do, and if you do it, okay. If you don't, then there is some accountability. There is.
Absolutely. Or, people can actually take advantage of situations. Unfortunately for Rahm, it was unfortunate, but at the same time...
So you do feel bad a little bit, right?
Of course I do. He's playing really well, and I think I respect his game. But when it comes down to the ifs, ands, or buts, you got to either take it or don't, and then accept the consequences and move on.
Yeah, I got you on that. Rahm, by the way, I liked his statement. He said, hey, there's bumps in the road. And he said, this is what it is. He didn't make excuses. I mean, I really say, he just said, well, this is what it is. That's what he said.
Well, I think it comes down to just also, you look at the choices they're going to make and people, what they're going to say. It's going to get more and more controversial. And so, just keep open-minded and, and feel for some of these people as well because, they have their beliefs, and you got to respect that.
I got you, buddy. Thanks for getting in. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling. That's what's interesting, we always say, everybody on this show, I'd say, I really try and see perspectives, really try and do it. We throw out opinions, right? You have to. You can't just walk the line of being PC and everything. But I try and say, okay, it is possible to feel bad for a guy. You're playing well, you're doing well, with the understanding, well, those are the rules of the PGA Tour, and that's just the way it is. You can't have a slippery slope of, well, they should have let him play. The reaction on this has been all over the map. That's my point. The reaction is, oh, the PGA Tour is wrong. Well, those are the rules, and everybody knew them going in. And so that's the story. And Rahm wasn't making I shouldn't have been disqualified. I shouldn't have been to this. Yet you could still feel bad. Oh, dang, man. Can you believe that? Final round coming up. He's 6 shots up, $1.67 million. That stinks. I don't feel glad that he got COVID-19, right? I'm not one of those guys, serves him right. I'm not taking it that far. Yet I'm not taking it all. The PGA Tour is so wrong for doing this. I don't buy that either. So the NFL teams, same story. They're going to have rules in place. If you do it, okay, you're going to be able to do this, okay? You're going to be able to do what you want to do. If you don't, they're going to have some pretty strict rules in place. That's called life and work and employer-employee relationship. That's really what it is. There's a lot of things you can and cannot do at work, and that's the story. Coming right back, let's jump into... by the way, let's update that. Let's update the poll. It's tight today. Do you feel bad for PGA golfer Jon Rahm? That's the question. Do you feel bad getting kicked out of the tournament, potentially losing $1.67 million, 6 shots up? Do you feel bad? 52% of you say, yes, I do feel bad for him. 48% say, no way. Those are the consequences. Tight one. Imagine that this day and age. Coming right back, it is Steve Young, president of the Sanford Sports Complex and Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. It's a big announcement. I want to get into the details next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
You might not know that Renewal by Anderson is a local family business. The owner here is Andy Stelflew. He's a 4th-generation rancher who learned about customer service and the land of opportunity early on.
Over and over again, I heard it's about the customer. It's signature service, treating the customer the right way. What a blessing it is to live in America. What a blessing it is to live in a country of the free, that if you want to do something, grow, you can.
Renewal by Anderson, great windows and great local people who never forget it's about the customer.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Valet type of service. When I pull my pickup, pull my cars, the guys would get out, they'd greet me, they'd grab my vehicle, and I just found the experience to be exceptionally easy. I found their integrity and honesty to be above anybody else that I've experienced, and I'll come here every time.
For the best in automotive sales and service, see Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, corner of Highway 79 in East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Do you have nagging injuries interfering with your daily performance? Learn how to take back your health with High Plains Physical Therapy and Aquatic Therapy Center. High Plains Physical Therapy is the longest independently owned and operated outpatient orthopedic clinic in the area. They want you to know that it's your choice for who to see for physical therapy in Rapid City. At High Plains Physical Therapy, you'll receive full-time, one-on-one treatment with a physical therapist, as they don't treat multiple patients at once. Get personalized care in a state-of-the-art facility with physical therapist Cody Young and his team. High Plains Physical Therapy will help you reach your health goals with aquatic therapy to minimize stress on your joints, dry needling to reduce muscle tension and improve pain control, and their Sports Metrics program helps athletes accelerate recovery time to get back in the game at maximum performance. Get back in the action with High Plains Physical Therapy, and remember, it's your choice to decide who to see for PT. Find them online at highplainspt.com.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in on a busy Monday, the Nate Brown Show, your sports, your show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live weekdays 4 to 6 on Fox Sports Rapid City. A lot of ways you can listen, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM here in the Black Hills. Also, right there on your phone anywhere, on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. You can find the show there every day. We put it up there live, the in-studio camera shot. Find us on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. Watch the show on your phone, easy to do. And on YouTube, you've got us there, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Appreciate it. Thanks for spending some time. Here he is, Steve Young, President, Sanford Sports, Sioux Falls. Boy, what an announcement today. We talked about that earlier today, and I wanted to get him on, say, hey, what was the thinking behind this, and where do we go from here? They announced the largest sports turf field project in the country. 18 new outdoor turf fields going into the Sanford Sports Complex. I spent some time out there quite a bit this past year. at some state tournaments. Girls state tournament at the Pentagon was outstanding, and they have the Pentagon, they have the field house, and then all these fields around there with great shots, which is a great place. And then they have all these fields. I said, something's going to go here. Well, we just found out today. And he joins us here on the Nate Brown Show. Steve, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Thank you for having me out here. This is great.
This is very interesting to me. And I look at, say, Sioux Falls is really invested. That's no secret in sports, in events. And I call it sports tourism, so to speak. I said, Sioux Falls has done this with basketball, with a lot of things going on. And I'm going to say, what's the vision behind this? What's the vision behind this massive outdoor turf field project?
Well, I would say it starts with our desire really to continue to have people really experience what the sports complex and, more importantly, what the city of Sioux Falls and the surrounding communities has to offer. And we're able to do that, as you mentioned, with some of those other venues and facilities, Great Shots, and the Pentagon. Obviously, we can do that. We don't have a great option as of right now with the shoulder seasons of April, May, June, and obviously the late fall seasons, and certainly in the summer. And these fields are going to be able to help us offer that experience to softball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, football as need be, as well as other activities on the campus. And it really develops our campus into a true destination for year-round programming.
This is Steve Young, president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. They've got 18 new outdoor turf fields. They're going to start work on this 173-acre expansion out there of the Sanford Sports Complex, just right off I-29 and I-90, not too far from there. Why did you want to go? I call this big. I mean, it's the biggest turf field project in the country, okay? Why'd you want to go so big? What is the thinking behind this as this plan came together?
Well, the biggest thing, first I got to give credit to, how this all happened, too, and that's an incredible generosity of T. Denny Sanford and Mr. Sanford's continued investment in the community and our continued vision to have a high commitment to our communities we serve. We wanted to be first class. We wanted to be big, and we wanted to offer this at a massive scale. And the reason we went with turf, I've experienced this, and many other parents have as well. You get a heavy rain on a baseball tournament, and you might have traveled a couple hours to get to a place, or even more than that. You get heavy rain even overnight, and the fields are dry, or at least the conditions are going to be dry during game day, but the field's washed out. And the turf aspect of this allows a heavy rain night, or even a heavy rain during the morning or midday. The show can continue as long as there's not a threat of severe weather or lightning or anything like that. We can actually keep things moving. And that's one of the reasons we went big with turf. We wanted to make sure that we offered something that was consistent, that people could expect and count on. And when they book their travel to, as you said, sports tourism, another term you've heard is tournication. As families get out and hit the road and do things together as a family, we wanted them to really be able to stay in Sioux Falls and experience all that Sioux Falls has to offer.
Steve Young's the president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. A couple more, I'll let him run. They just announced this 18 new outdoor turf fields going in out of the Sanford Sports Complex. Baseball, softball, soccer, lacrosse, and other activities. Is the main focus here, Steve, going to be youth tournaments? Is that what we're looking at?
It's going to be a little bit of everything. It's definitely going to have weekday programming. We're going to have youth sports with softball and baseball and soccer programming, as you mentioned. Lacrosse is another activity. We have football on the campus right now with the South Dakota Junior football field, but there's some other things. We run out of some turf space in the field house with 7-on-7 type events, so there's some things that can be done on the shoulder seasons there all during the week, and then obviously on the weekends, yes, during the summer and late spring and early fall, there'll be a significant focus of bringing tournaments in, and we've already fielded quite a bit of calls of when we're going to announce that schedule and how it's going to work and how the teams get signed up and how the leagues maybe participate. So it's something that we want to do, not just a one-time, 8 weekends a year. This is something we're trying to really program and make sure that we're going to fully utilize this investment to benefit the community.
I'll tell you what, centralized location there, meaning for all of those sports, I'm sure, around Sioux Falls, and then folks that come in for tournaments. You're going to have a lot of capability right there at one facility instead of having to go here or there. I will say this, your location, we talk about Rapid City, and I said we've done some things too here, but your location, how key is it, meaning North Dakota, Iowa? I've just heard a lot that, hey, there's a lot of activities there. You could have pretty big tournaments and activities every weekend with what you have going on in the region there.
Yeah, this is a really ideal location. And just for the record, too, I'm a Custer guy. I graduated from Custer High in 1996, and I love the West River. And but being out east here between 29 and 90 and the drivability there, and then obviously the airport from our location is only about a 5-minute drive, around the airport to get to our complex. But, during the pandemic, we had 1,206 basketball games in a 5-week span, and we took registrations from teams from 7 different states, as far as Kansas City, Wyoming, Wisconsin, and then the surrounding ones you mentioned. I also heard that the Iceplex, which is also on our sports complex, had teams from Washington, Arizona, and out east as well. So we're actually kind of setting our sights on, we think that can happen every year. We think that we can, pandemic or not, bring an experience where people are like, hey, we're going to have one date on our calendar, we're going to circle it, and that's going to be the time that we go to the Sanford Sports Complex. And that's our hope and vision for this community.
I'll tell you what, congrats on it. It's a big thing, groundbreaking today. 18 new outdoor turf fields. I've been back there a lot to some tournaments, and that'll be quite the complex. Steve Young's the president of Sanford Sports Sioux Falls. Last quick one, the estimate, about 1 million new visitors over 5 years participating in some of this stuff. That tells me is, hey, the goal is kind of some economic activity here, no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think about number one, just the tournament, experience where people have to drive. They're going to have to stay in some hotels and eat some food and fill up their car with gas before they take off again. And a lot of times they might have an 8-hour break. They might head downtown and do some retail shopping as well. So there's certainly opportunity for Sioux Falls to benefit from this from an economic activity. You also think about all the hopefully daily programming that we develop. If there's that many more bodies on campus and that many more people in the area, then that opens the door for other hospitality and retail and even potential residential offerings on this campus and the surrounding area. So we're excited about all of it. We definitely believe this is something that will benefit, the region, not just from a health and wellness side, but a well-being side from an economic impact for the community.
18 new outdoor turf fields, groundbreaking today in Sioux Falls. The Sanford Sports Complex is just off I-90 and I-29 right there. If you've been out there, you know where I'm talking about. Steve Young's the president of Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. The biggest groundbreaking on sports turf field, the project in the U.S. Right now. Steve, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. By the way, great shots. I'm a big fan. I like it. How good are you out there at Gray Shots? I really would like to know.
Nate, I got to be honest. I'm pretty good at the game knockout.
Okay.
I get beat in the pinball game quite a bit by my kids. But yeah, we're really excited about what Great Shots has done.
How has that gone? Has that gone well?
It's gone really well. It started off as a really big event venue for a lot of businesses, and then our pandemic hit, and all of a sudden we had to stop doing some big gatherings, and but we were able to pivot, and as a healthcare company, we were able to put in some protocols to slowly start getting people back in, and it's taken off again. We're back to normal, so to speak, and it's been going really well. The community has embraced it. I think we've had 70,000 visitors since the start of the year already this year.
I just wondered because, you look up north here, it's winter. People always question, is this going to work? This isn't Topgolf in Scottsdale or Las Vegas. This is Sioux Falls. But it seemed like it was busy even when I was out there in early March.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your business, and it has been good. We've only shut down a handful of days, and then there's been some days where we've been open, and there's been some diehard golfers out there. But from a family environment, when it's 20 degrees and the wind's blowing in your face from the south, it's not a great experience for the fam. So at that point, we do have to limit operations. But outside of a handful of days, we've been open, and and the community has surely enjoyed their time there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good place. It really is. Congrats on it, Steve. I know you're going to run here. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the time.
You bet, Nate. Thanks a lot.
Steve Young on tonight. He's the president, Sanford Sports in Sioux Falls. He said it. He's a Custer guy. Good to get him on. It's a big announcement. It really is. I wanted to touch on that because 18 new outdoor turf fields going in at Sioux Falls. A lot of you parents, you've been back there for soccer and softball and some baseball, right? Now it looks like, they're going to have the premier facility right there in one location. You're not going to have to maybe pop over to this field or that field. And it'll be interesting, the amount of visitors, the amount of tournaments, what it's going to look like. They expect about 1 million new visitors over the next 5 years. So and I'm thinking that might be conservative, but we'll see. That's a big one. Soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball, all in one place there. The Sanford Sports Complex putting in the new outdoor turf fields. Who's hot and who's not is next on a Monday. We'll wrap up the program with a couple of things you need to hear. Nebraska is on a list that they really shouldn't be on. They're on a list, and they're going to get off that list. But they're on the list with a couple other Big Ten schools that they really shouldn't be on. Pizza Ranch, who's hot and who's not on the way, and a sports accomplishment that hasn't happened since 2013. That's next.
Your sports, your show. This is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Nothing beats the quality of the 1994 to 2002 Dodge Ram 2500 4x4 trucks with 5.9-liter Cummins diesel engines. And nobody has a better selection of these great trucks than Quality Motors in Rapid City. With over 35 units on hand, you'll find an amazing truck that'll get the job done for a mere fraction of the price of a new truck. At Quality Motors, Ray is all about top quality trucks with attention to detail a priority. See for yourself at Quality Motors, Samco Plaza off Deadwood Avenue, Rapid City. Call Ray at 605-431-1944.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a chance for scattered thunderstorms. Lows level off around 62. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 92. A mix of clouds and sun. Cloudy skies tomorrow night. Chance for scattered storms. Lows slip down to about 64. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 83.
Black Hills Community Bank wants you to know that now may be the best time to refinance, purchase, or even build a brand new home. With rates this low, Black Hills Community Bank is well positioned to be your local partner. They are your home loans bank with local originators, underwriting, processing, and closings. They challenge themselves to close every loan on time. This may be the time to think about home ownership or refinancing with Black Hills Community Bank in Rapid City and Spearfish. Online at bhcbank.com. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights, we switch the TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson right here in Rapid City, and I can switch you over and you can start saving today. Me and my team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson. Want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wirefree USA. If you want high-speed internet at your house, call Wirefree USA and get HughesNet. HughesNet is high-speed satellite internet, a super-fast instant internet connection that's available right now wherever you live. You'll get faster web access, faster browsing, and faster downloads. HughesNet is from Hughes, an industry leader with more than 1.5 million systems installed worldwide. Call Wirefree USA today at 605-343-3806 and learn how to order HughesNet from your local business partner. Stop waiting. Order HughesNet, America's #1 choice for high-speed satellite internet. Visit Wirefree USA in Rapid City or call 605-343-3806 now and get super fast internet access at your house no matter where you live. The future is Wirefree USA with HughesNet. Local business, local service with a smile.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Well, it's been a lively Monday show. I hope you enjoyed some of the conversation. Thanks for being a part of the conversation on the Barron's Wilson text line. 720-1067. You can direct text the show. We appreciate that. Also on the phone line, that's good stuff today. It's been wild. It's been wild. It's always enjoyable, though. Good conversation on a Monday. The Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. The podcast always available. If you missed the show live, you can listen at your own convenience. Check it out tonight. FoxSportsRapidCity.com, the Nate Brown Show podcast. We had some great guests across the board. Let's get into who's hot and who's not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Tonight, the Pizza Ranch Buffet open, as you might expect. And I'll tell you this, though. The Pizza Ranch Buffet is a good one on Wednesday. Why? If you have a family, it's kids' night. One child 12 and under eats free for every regular-priced adult. Wednesday, make plans now. Hit the Pizza Ranch Buffet. Save and eat well. You don't have to worry about picky eaters at the Pizza Ranch. Believe me, they've got everything you need. 2 locations. Pizza Ranch Buffet, open daily, 11 to 8, and Kids Night, Wednesday. Who's hot and who's not here on the Nate Brown Show? Let's go with this. Who's hot category? I guess I'll throw Nick Saban in the mix. Nick Saban just extended all the way out to 2029. Good job security there, okay? He's 165 and 23. He's 165 and 23, 6 national titles, okay? He's extended all the way out to 2029. So what does that mean? Nick Saban's going to be the head coach for the Crimson Tide until he is 77. Telling me he's going to stay in the game longer than Coach K? Longer than Coach K? We'll see. We'll see. But Alabama, what are you going to do if you're Alabama? Nick, we're gonna we'll give you out to 2024. No. We'll let you coach till you're 77. Keep rolling. 77. He's going to be cranking. Nick's in good shape. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Hot category as well, the U.S. men's national team. The U.S. men's national team knocks down Mexico last night. It's the first time they beat Mexico in a first competitive victory since 2013. Little extra time hitter from Christian Pulisic. Pulisic was good, I'll tell you. Lifting the first trophy for the U.S. men's national team in almost 4 years. Good to see. Need to see a little bit more of it. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, Nebraska was on this list in the Big Ten. They were one of only 3 schools that didn't have a new athletic facility. Okay? One of only 3 schools. I mean, everybody's done this. Everybody. Guess who they were on the list with? And I say we're on it. Nebraska just announced they're going to do a new athletic facility, $150 million hitter. Okay? They were on the list. It was Nebraska, Maryland, and Rutgers. Guess who's left on that list? Just Rutgers. Maryland just unveiled their new $149 million facility today, which includes a recording studio. Wow. We're going to work on football, and then we're going to go and drop some beats. Going to have that stuff, man. The Lazy River, the recording studio, it just makes you that much better on the field. I'm kidding. But, by the way, in my Who's Not, well, Nebraska's off of it. They got their new facility coming. Maryland's off of it. Rutgers, still no new athletic facility, and they are raising money. Good luck, Rutgers. Coming back tomorrow at 4 on the Nate